Hello there, and welcome to Sleepy Galaxy Channel. Tonight you do not have to go anywhere, and you do not have to do anything, and you do not have to keep any part of yourself awake on my account. Tonight we are going to spend a long, slow stretch of hours together, gathering up a hushed collection of facts about one of the strangest and most peaceful objects in the whole sky, the neutron star. And we are going to turn each fact, one at a time, into something warm enough to rest your mind against. There is nothing here to solve. There is nothing here to remember in the morning. There is only a calm list of true things, told slowly, so that your thoughts have somewhere unhurried to wander, while the rest of you lets go. If it helps you drift off the way it is meant to, you might let this channel know in whatever small way you like, but please, not now, not while you are settling. That can wait for the daylight. For now there are no adverts, no interruptions, nothing that will rise up suddenly and pull you back to the surface. Just a low voice, and a long night, and a sky full of slow, dense, ancient stars. So let yourself begin to arrive. Feel the surface beneath you taking your weight, all of it, every ounce of the day you have been carrying, and let it hold you so completely that your muscles understand they are off duty now. Let your shoulders ease down from wherever they have crept up to. Let your jaw unclench, just a little, then a little more. Let the breath you are breathing slow on its own, without you steering it, the way a tide slows as it reaches the top of the sand. There is a single image I will return to again and again tonight, like a thread running through everything, and I want you to meet it now before we start, so that it can begin to feel familiar. A heavy stillness held in the smallest possible space. Hold that lightly, a great weight, gathered close, made small, made calm, kept perfectly serene at the center of everything. You do not have to do anything with that idea. Just let it rest beside you, the way a neutron star rests in the dark, dense beyond imagining, and yet utterly at peace. And here, before the facts begin, is the gentlest promise I can make you. Nothing tonight will frighten you. We are going to talk about enormous forces and unthinkable distances and the deaths of stars. And every single time we approach something that might, in the cold light of day, seem vast or final or frightening, I am going to turn it slowly in my hands until you can see the calm side of it, the safe side, the side that has been resting peacefully in the sky for longer than the Earth has existed. Out there, where these stars are, everything has already happened. The violence is over. What is left is balance and stillness and a kind of patience so deep it makes our own worries seem like ripples that have already smoothed away. You are allowed to borrow that stillness tonight. You are allowed to let the universe be old and serene and finished with its hurry. And to be old and quiet and finished with yours just for these few hours. So take one more easy breath, a little deeper than the last, and let it go without any effort at all. Let the room grow tender at its edges. Let the list of true things begin to unspool in the dark, each one a small smooth stone you can set down and forget. There is nowhere else you need to be. There is no next thing. There is only the slow gathering of facts about heavy, peaceful stars, and your own breath slowing to meet them. Let's begin. Here is one thing to rest your mind on first. A neutron star is what remains after a much larger star has finished living, and the remarkable, restful truth of it is that almost all the matter of a great sun gets folded down into a sphere only about as wide as a sleeping town. Picture that for a moment, slowly. A star many times heavier than our own sun, with all its weight, all its substance, all its long history of light, gathered inward and pressed down and tucked into a ball you could drive across in 20 minutes. More mass than the sun, held in a space narrower than the distance you might walk on a slow afternoon. This is the thread I asked you to hold near you, a heavy stillness held in the smallest possible space, and here it is, made real. Hanging in the dark and asking nothing of anyone. There is something deeply soothing in that folding inward, in the way the universe takes something sprawling and enormous and brings it home, brings it close, brings it down to a single dense and resting point. You might feel your own thoughts doing something similar now, the scattered pieces of your day drawing inward, growing closer together, growing smaller and heavier and more peaceful, until they too are just one tranquil weight resting at the center of you. And here is another thing, told slowly so it can settle. These stars are made of a substance unlike anything you have ever touched, and yet it carries a strange familiarity. Deep inside a neutron star, the ordinary structure of matter has been pressed so close that the empty space inside atoms, and atoms are mostly empty space, you and I and everything around us are mostly empty space, has been gently squeezed away, until what remains is packed as tightly as the core of an atom itself. A single small spoonful of that material would weigh about as much as a mountain. Now, do not let that fact press on you. Let it cradle you instead. Think of how complete that is, how thorough, how finished. Every gap closed, every hollow filled, nothing left loose or rattling or restless. It is the most settled substance in the universe. It has nowhere further to fall, nothing further to lose, no looseness left to worry over. When you imagine that perfectly packed core, you can imagine your own body the same way for a moment, every space within you filled with ease, every hollow filled with warmth, nothing left rattling, nothing left unsettled, just a calm completeness, lying still in the dark. Here is a third thing, and it is about how these stars are born, told in the kindest possible way. When a great star reaches the end of its long life, its center can no longer hold itself up against its own weight, and so it falls inward. But I want you to hear that falling not as a catastrophe, but as a kind of arriving home. The outer layers drift away into space in a wide, slow, luminous cloud that will one day become new stars and new worlds. And the heart of the star comes to rest as the densest, stillest object it can be. The frightening word for the bright part of this is supernova. And yes, for a brief, while the star shines as bright as a whole galaxy, but by the time we are talking about it tonight, that brightness is long over. The flash has faded, the cloud has spread thin, and gone tender and cool. And what is left behind, the neutron star itself, simply rests. It does not explode again. It does not strain. It has already done the one great thing it had to do, and now it has all the time in the universe to be still. There is a deep comfort in that, in something that has finished its hardest work and entered a long, untroubled peace. You have done your hardest work today, too. You can enter the quiet now. Let yourself drift here for a moment, between the facts, the way you might drift between waking and sleeping without choosing either. Feel how you are being carried. You are lying still, and yet the earth beneath you is turning, slowly, steadily, carrying you through the night the way a current carries a leaf, without your having to paddle or steer, or even stay awake for it. And the earth itself is moving around the sun, and the sun is drifting through the galaxy, and the whole galaxy is sailing through the dark among countless others. And not one part of that vast motion asks anything of you. You are simply held within it, carried within it. a small warm weight at rest inside a great slow turning. The neutron star is out there being carried too, riding its own long orbit through the same dark, just as tranquil as you are, just as held. You do not have to keep up with any of it. You only have to let yourself be carried, the way you are being carried now. Here is another tender fact, and it is about size and the comfort of small things. We tend to think bigger is more impressive, but a neutron star teaches the opposite, and teaches it tenderly. All that mass, all that gathered substance, fits inside a sphere roughly the width of a single mountain range laid end to end, somewhere around 20 kilometers across. If you set it down where a city sits, it would not even reach the edges of the suburbs. And yet, it outweighs the sun. The whole enormous truth of it is concentrated, condensed, brought down to something almost intimate in scale. A heavy stillness held in the smallest possible space, hanging quietly in the night. There is a lesson in that for a tired mind. You do not have to spread yourself across everything. You do not have to be vast to be whole. You can draw inward, gather what matters close, let the edges soften and fall away, and be most completely yourself in the smallest, stillest, most restful version of you. That is what the neutron star is doing, all the time, without effort. And you are allowed to do it too, right now, as you breathe out and grow a little smaller, and a little heavier, and a little more at peace. Here is something else to lay your thoughts upon. Many neutron stars spin, and they spin in a way that is almost impossible to picture, and yet, told slowly, becomes a kind of lullaby. Some of them turn many hundreds of times every second, the entire star rotating so fast that the numbers stop meaning anything and become pure rhythm. But I do not want you to imagine a frantic blur. I want you to imagine a perfect, frictionless, effortless spin, smooth as a stone polished by 10,000 years of water, turning and turning without ever growing tired, without ever needing to be wound, without anything pushing or pulling it along. It simply turns because nothing stops it, in the deep, frictionless dark, where there is no air to slow it and no ground to drag it. There is a restfulness in motion that never has to try. Think of a wheel that has been set spinning in a place with no friction at all. It would turn forever, never straining, never slowing, a steady, eternal rhythm. The neutron star is like a heartbeat that never has to work, a pulse laid into the fabric of the night. And as you listen to me describe it, you might let your own heartbeat slow towards something steadier, something easier. A low and faithful rhythm you do not have to manage, turning quietly on its own while you let go. And here is another, and it is one of the loveliest. Because some neutron stars spin so steadily and send out their light in such a regular beat, sweeping across the sky like the slow-turning beam of a lighthouse, astronomers found that they could set their clocks by them. These spinning stars, called pulsars, keep time with a faithfulness that rivals the finest clocks ever built by human hands. Out there in the silence, with no one watching and no one counting, they tick and tick and tick, marking out the seconds of the universe with a patience older than mountains. Imagine that. A great natural clock in the dark, asking nothing, needing nothing, simply keeping time so steadily that we can trust it across thousands of years. There is comfort in a rhythm that reliable. When you were very small, perhaps someone rocked you, or patted you, or hummed to you in a beat so even that you stopped fighting sleep and simply fell into it. The pulsar is that beat, written into the sky. You can fall into it the same way now, letting each slow sweep of its light pass over you, like a hand smoothing the blanket, like a wave reaching the shore and drawing back, like a clock in another room, counting the night gently away. Let us pause again between the facts, for a moment of just being carried. Notice how little you are holding up right now. The bed or the chair or the floor is doing all the work of keeping you in the world. You do not have to grip. You do not have to brace. You do not have to hold any part of yourself aloft. Let your hands grow heavy. Let your arms grow heavy. Let the weight of your legs sink down into whatever holds them. Far away, a neutron star is doing the same thing in its own way. It has surrendered completely to its own weight. It has stopped resisting. It has let everything fall into its truest and most restful shape. And the result is not collapse, but balance. A deep and perfect equilibrium that will last for ages. You can surrender to your own weight the same way and find the same balance. There is nothing to hold up. There is nothing to brace against. There is only the slow settling of a tired body into the place that is meant to catch it. A heavy stillness coming to rest in the smallest, safest space it can find. Here is another low fact about light and color and the slow cooling of things. When a neutron star is very young, just after it has formed, it glows with a heat almost beyond imagining. But here is the tender part. Over the long ages it cools, slowly, patiently, fading from a fierce white towards softer and deeper colors, the way embers fade in a hearth when the night grows late. It is in no hurry. It will take millions upon millions of years to cool, and there is no urgency in it at all, no alarm, no struggle against the dark. It simply lets its heat ebb away into the cold of space, the way warmth ebbs from a body sinking into sleep, 1 degree at a time, unhurried, untroubled, content. You might feel that same easeful cooling in yourself now, the busy heat of the day releasing, the flush of effort fading, a tender coolness spreading out from your chest to your shoulders to your hands, leaving behind only a low and restful warmth, the warmth of something that has stopped working hard and begun, at last, to rest. And here is another thing, told slowly. A neutron star is wrapped in a kind of crust, a thin outer shell, and beneath that crust the deeper material flows in ways stranger and smoother than any liquid we know, a perfect, frictionless flow that never slows and never stirs up trouble. Down in the depths of the star, matter moves without any resistance at all, sliding past itself in silence, a current that has no roughness in it anywhere. Think how restful that would feel, to be made of something that simply flows, with nothing catching, nothing snagging, nothing grinding against anything else. Your own thoughts can move that way for a while, if you let them, not stopping them, not chasing them, just letting them slide past in a smooth and frictionless current, one giving way to the next without any effort, the way deep water moves far below the reach of any wind. And at the very center of it all, holding everything together, is that same image I keep bringing back to you, a heavy stillness held in the smallest possible space, the calm, dense heart around which all that effortless flowing turns. Here is another thing for your drifting mind about how very old these stars are. The first neutron stars formed not long, in cosmic terms, after the universe itself began, when the earliest great stars lived their brief, brilliant lives and laid themselves down to rest. That means some of the neutron stars in the sky tonight are nearly as old as time as we can measure it. They were already ancient when the earth was a swirl of dust, already ancient when the first ocean settled, already ancient when the first living thing stirred in that ocean. They have watched, in their patient and unhurried way, the entire history of everything you have ever known unfold and pass. And here is the comfort in that great age. It means your worries, every single one of them, are very, very young. Whatever has been weighing on you tonight was born only today, or this week, or this year, a tiny new thing in a universe that has been resting peacefully for billions of years. The neutron star does not know your worry exists, and it would not be troubled if it did. It has seen the rise and fall of so much that nothing surprises it anymore, and nothing disturbs its rest. You can lend your worries to that long perspective for the night, and let them shrink to their true small size, and let them go. And here is another, told gently, because it sounds fierce until you turn it around. Neutron stars can carry magnetic fields stronger than anything humanity has ever produced. Fields so powerful the numbers lose all meaning. But out there, far from any harm they could do, this is not a danger. It is simply a kind of order, an invisible architecture of perfectly arranged lines wrapping the star in a smooth and steady embrace. Think of it not as force, but as structure. The way the grain runs through a piece of wood, the way the lines of a seashell spiral in flawless order, the way frost arranges itself into patterns on a window in the cold of the night. The magnetic field of a neutron star is a vast, silent, perfectly organized thing, holding the star in shape the way a held breath holds a moment still. And you, too, are wrapped in invisible order tonight. The steady beat of your own heart, the slow and faithful tide of your breath, the warmth your body keeps without your asking, all of it arranged and held and tended without any effort from you at all. You are held in your own quiet architecture, just as the star is held in its. Let yourself drift again now, into a moment of scale and comfort, because sometimes the most restful thing is simply to feel how small and safe you are inside something vast. Out there, between you and the nearest neutron star, lies a stretch of space so wide that light itself, the fastest thing there is, would take many years to cross it. And yet, that distance is not lonely. It is spacious. It is roomy. It is full of soft dark in which everything has plenty of room to rest. You are not crowded. Nothing is pressing in. There is more room around you, around the Earth, around the whole solar system, than your mind could ever fill, and all of it is calm, and all of it is dark, and all of it is faint enough to sleep in. Imagine yourself a small warm point of life, cradled in all that gentle spaciousness, with the ancient stars keeping their slow watch at a comfortable, comforting distance, near enough to feel kept company by, far enough never to disturb your rest. You are a small, still thing in a vast, still place, and that is exactly where you are meant to be. Here is another fact, and it is about glass and smoothness and the absence of anything rough. The surface of a neutron star is thought to be astonishingly smooth, smoother than anything we could ever polish, with its highest features rising no more than a fraction of a millimeter, mere whispers of texture across a sphere the size of a mountain. Imagine running your hand across a surface that perfect, that even, with nothing to catch on, nothing to scrape, nothing jagged or broken anywhere. The whole star is smoothed by its own tremendous gravity into a near-perfect sphere, every irregularity pressed down, every bump eased away, until it is as flawless as a drop of water hanging in the air. There is something profoundly restful in smoothness, in the absence of any edge or snag. You can let your own mind go smooth like that now, all its rough places pressed down by the long weight of the day, all its jagged worries eased flat, until your thoughts are a smooth, dark surface with nothing left to catch on, just the even quiet of a polished and peaceful mind. And here is another, about how a neutron star bends the very light around it. Its gravity is so strong that the path of light passing nearby curves, gently, like a stream bending around a stone, so that if you could stand at a safe distance and look, you would see a little more of the star's far side than should be possible, the whole sphere seeming to wrap toward you. Do not let the word gravity make you brace. Out at our safe and dreaming distance, this bending is only beautiful, a soft optical tenderness. The universe showing you that even light is willing to slow and turn and curve around something it loves. Everything near a neutron star leans toward it, drawn in by that patient pull, and the star simply receives it all, calm and unhurried, a heavy stillness held in the smallest possible space, drawing the world gently toward its easy center. You might feel yourself leaning toward your own hushed center now, all the scattered parts of you curving slowly inward, drawn down toward rest, toward the low, heavy place at the middle of you, where sleep is already waiting. Here is another thing to rest against, about names and the way people have always looked up. Long before anyone knew what a neutron star was, the great star that ended its life and left one behind would have appeared in the sky as a sudden new point of light, a guest star, bright enough to be noticed and remembered and written down. Watchers nearly 1,000 years ago recorded one such new star, marking the night it appeared and the slow weeks of its fading, never knowing that what they were watching was the birth of one of these dense and resting hearts. And that very neutron star spins out there still tonight, in the place those watchers pointed to, keeping its faithful rhythm in the dark. There is a long, warm thread connecting you to them. The same sky, the same patient star, the same human habit of looking up at the night and feeling small and safe and quietly amazed. People have been falling asleep under these stars for as long as there have been people. You are only the latest in a long, unbroken line of the comforted, and the star above you does not mind keeping watch over one more drowsy soul. And here is another, about how these stars sometimes come in pairs, which is a tender thing when you think of it slowly. Many neutron stars are not alone. They circle a companion star, the two of them turning around a shared center in a slow and faithful dance that can last for ages. Around and around they go, each holding the other in a steady orbit, neither one falling away, neither one pulling free, just two old companions turning together in the dark for longer than you can imagine. There is something deeply soothing in that constancy, in the idea of two distant things bound together so gently and so permanently that they will keep each other company until the end of time. You might think of something, or someone that holds you in your own steady orbit, some warm and faithful presence in your life, and let the thought of it settle over you like a blanket, knowing that you, too, are held in a gentle gravity, kept company, not alone in the turning dark. Let us drift once more into the feeling of being carried by something larger and kinder than ourselves. Right now, without lifting a finger, you are traveling at tremendous speed through space, the Earth carrying you around the sun carrying the Earth through the galaxy, and yet you feel nothing of it. No wind, no rush, no lurch, only stillness, only the soft, motionless sensation of lying perfectly at rest. That is the great secret of being truly carried. When something holds you completely, the motion disappears, and all you feel is peace. The neutron star feels it too, hurtling through the galaxy at speeds beyond reckoning and yet utterly serene. because it is so completely held by the same vast motion that holds you. You are both passengers in the same slow river of stars, both carried, both at rest in the midst of enormous movement. Let yourself sink into that paradox the way you sink into a deep chair, held so completely that all the rushing of the world becomes, for you, a perfect stillness. Here is another quiet fact about how a neutron star, in its long old age, can have its rhythm renewed. If matter from a nearby companion drifts down onto the surface of an old, slow neutron star, that gift of new material can set the star spinning faster again, winding it up like an old clock given a fresh turn of the key, until it ticks once more with the swift, faithful rhythm of its youth. There is a tenderness in that image, an old thing, slowed by ages, gently restored, given back its steady beat by something flowing softly toward it across the dark. Nothing is forced, nothing is rushed. The star simply receives what comes to it and quietly becomes itself again. You can imagine your own weary self being renewed the same way tonight, the long restorative hours of sleep flowing down onto you like that soft stream of material, easing you, winding you gently back towards steadiness, so that you might wake with your own serene rhythm, restored, unhurried, and whole. And here is another thing, told slowly, about the strange and restful stuff that may lie at the very deepest center of these stars. Beneath the crust, beneath the smooth flowing layers, in the densest core where the pressure is greatest, the matter may take forms so exotic that we have no everyday words for them at all. Substances that exist nowhere else in the universe, found only in the hidden hearts of neutron stars, never seen, never touched, resting in perpetual darkness far below the surface. There is something wonderful in that secrecy. The star keeps its deepest self hidden, holds its truest center in a place no light will ever reach, and that center is perfectly at peace down there, undisturbed, unhurried, untroubled by anything that happens above. You have a deepest center too, a still hidden core far beneath the busy surface of your thoughts, and tonight you are being carried down toward it, layer by layer, past the noise, past the clutter, past the worries of the day, down toward the tranquil place at the very bottom of you, where a heavy stillness rests in the smallest possible space, perfectly calm, perfectly safe, perfectly your own. Here is another thing for the drifting hours about the sound these stars make, or rather, the rhythm of them rendered into something you can almost hear. When astronomers receive the regular pulses from a pulsar, they sometimes turn those signals into sound, and what comes out is a steady, patient beat, tick, 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 even and unhurried, like a drip of water in a deep cave, like a slow heartbeat heard through a wall, like footsteps far away on a quiet street at night. There is nothing jarring in it, nothing that startles, only a faithful pulse repeating and repeating with the same low constancy. Some pulses come slowly, a beat every second or every few seconds, a rhythm easy enough to breathe along with. You might breathe along with one now, imagining a slow pulse arriving from far across the dark, and letting your breath rise and fall with it, in on one beat, out on the next, the ancient rhythm of a turning star, setting the tempo of your rest. The star has been keeping that beat for longer than the human species has existed, and it will keep it long after, and tonight, for a little while, it keeps it for you. And here is another, about the cloud that surrounds the place where a neutron star was born. After the great star sheds its outer layers, those layers spread into a wide and tender nebula, glowing faintly in colors so faint they seem painted with watered light, pale greens and dusky reds, and the faintest blues, threads and veils of gas drifting slowly outward through the dark. At the heart of that beautiful cloud sits the neutron star, the dense, peaceful remnant, while all around it the cast-off material spreads and thins and cools over thousands of years. Imagine being wrapped in such a cloud, soft, luminous, drifting, with a calm, dense heart at its center, keeping everything tethered and unhurried. That is a little like the state you are entering now, the busy outer layers of your day loosening and spreading and drifting away from you, growing thin and faint and beautiful as they go, while the true quiet center of you remains, dense and still and at peace, the calm heart of your own slow nebula of sleep. Let us pause for a reflection on scale, because there is a particular comfort in remembering how the vast and the small fit together. A neutron star is tiny by the measure of the heavens, a mere speck against the width of its own galaxy, smaller than the smallest dot you could make on a map of the stars. And yet, it holds the weight of a sun. The universe, it turns out, does not need things to be large in order to make them matter. It can pour immensity into something small and let it rest there. Complete, you are small too. Small against the night, small against the turning earth, small against the great slow wheel of the galaxy. And yet, like the neutron star, you are whole. You are dense with everything you are. You carry your entire self in the small, warm space of your body. And that is enough. That is plenty. That is exactly right. There is no need to be larger. There is only the need to be at rest, a heavy stillness held in the smallest possible space, complete and calm, and asking for nothing more. Here is another fact, told gently, about how slowly things change out there. A neutron star, left to itself, changes so gradually that across an entire human lifetime, it would seem not to change at all. Its spin slows by the tiniest fraction. Its heat ebbs by the slightest degree. But these shifts unfold across millions and billions of years, far beyond the reach of any hurry. To watch a neutron star is to watch something that is, for all the purposes of a single night, perfectly unchanging, a fixed and faithful point in a restless sky. There is great comfort in the unchanging when you are tired. So much of life asks you to keep up, to adapt, to respond, to move. But the neutron star asks nothing, changes nothing, demands nothing of your attention. It simply is, and it will still simply be when you wake, exactly as it is now. You can let it be the steady anchor of your night, the one thing that will not shift while you sleep, holding its place in the dark so faithfully that you are free to drift as far as you like, knowing it will still be there. And here is another about the way these stars test the deepest laws of nature without ever raising their voice. A neutron star is the most extreme laboratory in the universe, denser than anything we can make, with gravity beyond anything we can stage, with conditions at its core that no experiment on Earth could ever reach. And yet it conducts all this extremity in perfect silence, asking no one to watch, proving nothing to anyone, simply being what it is at the outermost edge of what is possible. Everything that physics finds most difficult and most profound is happening inside that hushed sphere, all the time, effortlessly. There is something restful in that, in the thought that the universe holds its hardest truths so calmly that the most extreme things imaginable can be doing their work in total tranquility. You do not have to understand any of it tonight. You can let the great difficult facts of the cosmos rest where they are, in the silent heart of a distant star, and let your own mind rest just as easily, untroubled by anything it does not need to carry. Let the hard things stay out there in the dark, doing their serene work without you, while you do nothing at all but breathe and sink and drift. Here is another thing to fold into the night about how a neutron star measures gravity in the lightest possible way. We sometimes describe how strong its pull is by imagining a feather dropped just above its surface. But rather than picture the speed, picture the feather itself, drifting down, falling, settling, the way feathers do at the end of their fall. Everything that comes to a neutron star comes to rest upon it eventually, drawn down by that patient pull, gathered in, kept. Nothing is flung away. Nothing is lost. The star simply receives and holds and keeps. There is a deep reassurance in being held by something that never lets go, something whose whole nature is to draw things home and keep them safe. Tonight, let yourself be that feather, drifting slowly down through the soft dark, carried by a gravity that is gentle with you, settling at last onto a surface that will hold you completely and never let you fall any further. You have reached the place that catches everything. You can stop drifting downward now and simply rest where you have landed. And here is another, about the colors of the light these objects send out, light we cannot even see with our eyes, but which is no less beautiful for that. Neutron stars often shine most brightly, not in visible light, but in kinds of light beyond the edges of what human eyes can catch. And when astronomers gather that light and translate it into colors we can see, the images bloom into hushed washes of violet and amber and rose, the invisible made visible, the hidden made tender. It is a reminder that the universe is full of beauty we cannot directly perceive, beauty pouring out steadily whether or not anyone is there to see it, beauty that asks for no audience. There is something freeing in that. You do not have to witness everything. You do not have to be awake for the world to be lovely. The neutron star will keep shining its unseen colors all night long while you sleep, beauty unfolding in the dark with no one watching. And that is perfectly all right. That is even wonderful, the way a garden goes on blooming through the night while everyone inside is dreaming. Let us drift again into the feeling of being carried, slowly, with nothing to do. Imagine you are lying in a small boat on a wide, motionless lake at night, and the boat is drifting, just barely, on a current too soft to feel. You are not rowing. You are not steering. You are simply lying back, looking up, and the boat carries you where it will, slow and safe across the dark water, while overhead the stars turn their patient wheel. Somewhere among them, a neutron star keeps its faithful beat, and the rhythm of that beat seems to match the gentle rock of the boat, the soft lap of water against the hull, the slow rise and fall of your own breathing. There is nowhere to arrive. There is no shore you must reach. There is only the drifting, the rocking, the being carried, the warm, safe weight of you held in the cradle of the boat, held in the cradle of the night, held in the vast kind cradle of a universe that has been carrying sleepers like you for as long as there has been sleep. Here is another quiet fact about how a neutron star packs the empty world solid. I told you earlier that atoms are mostly empty space, that if you took away all the gaps inside the atoms that make up a person, what remained would be smaller than a grain of dust. A neutron star is what happens when the universe actually does this, on a stellar scale, pressing all that emptiness away until only the dense kernels remain, packed shoulder to shoulder with nothing wasted between them. And here is the calming thought: there is no emptiness left to fill, no gap left to worry over, no hollow place where something might be missing. The neutron star is complete in a way almost nothing else is, utterly filled, utterly solid, utterly whole. When your mind feels scattered, full of gaps and loose ends and unfinished things, you can borrow the wholeness of the neutron star, imagining all your loose pieces drawing together, all the empty, anxious spaces closing softly, until you too feel solid and complete and settled, a heavy stillness held in the smallest possible space, with nothing missing and nothing left undone. And here is another, told slowly, about how rare and precious these stars are. For all their importance, neutron stars are not common. Out of the vast multitude of stars in the galaxy, only a small fraction will ever become one. For it takes a star of just the right great size to leave such a remnant behind. So each neutron star is, in its way, a rare and tranquil treasure, one of a relatively select number scattered sparsely through the immensity of the galaxy, each one the singular legacy of a particular star that lived and died long ago. There is something tender in rareness, in the thought of these few dense hearts spread far apart through the dark, each unique, each precious, each the only one exactly where it is. You are rare in just that way. There is only one of you, only ever has been, only ever will be, a singular peaceful treasure resting in your own small corner of the night. The universe made you only once, and it is in no hurry to do anything but let you rest. Here is another thing for the deepening night, about how two neutron stars can come together at the very end of their long shared dance. Sometimes a pair of neutron stars, orbiting each other for ages, slowly spiral closer and closer over millions upon millions of years, drawing nearer by the smallest amount with each turn, until at last they meet. And though it sounds dramatic, I want you to hear the slowness of it, the unimaginable patience of two stars taking ages to close a gap, never rushing, never forcing, simply drifting together over a span of time so long it makes a human lifetime seem like a single breath. And when they do finally meet, they forge, in that meeting, the very atoms of gold and other precious metals that drifted out into space and eventually became part of worlds like ours. The ring someone might wear, the gold thread in an old tapestry, the warm metal of a coin held in a child's hand, much of it was made in the slow embrace of stars like these. You are wearing a little of the universe's deep history, and it was made tenderly, patiently across ages, just so that one day it could rest here, close to you, in the quiet of your own life. And here is another, about the gravitational waves that ripple out when great dense things move. When neutron stars dance and merge, they send out faint ripples through the very fabric of space itself. Waves that travel outward across the universe at the speed of light, stretching and easing the space they pass through by an amount so tiny it is almost unimaginable. By the time these waves reach us, they are the softest whisper, a tremor in the cosmos so faint that detecting it is one of the most delicate things anyone has ever done. Picture that, the universe itself rippling, like the surface of a pond after a leaf has touched it, the ripples spreading wider and gentler as they travel, until they wash over the earth so lightly that nothing feels them but the most sensitive instruments ever made. You are being washed over by such ripples even now, ancient tremors from distant gentle collisions, passing through you and the bed and the room, without disturbing a single thing. The universe rocking very softly all around you like water settling after the last stone has sunk to rest. Let us drift again, into scale and comfort, into the simple ease of being small in a vast, safe place. The galaxy holds hundreds of billions of stars, and among them perhaps 100 million neutron stars, scattered across distances so wide that they almost never come near one another. And yet, Far from being a frightening emptiness, this is a great and roomy peace. Space enough for everything, room enough for every star to keep its own tender place, without crowding, without collision, without strife. The universe is mostly calm, mostly dark, mostly still, mostly room. Out of all that vastness, only the tiniest fraction is ever busy or bright. The overwhelming majority is exactly the kind of soft, dark stillness you are sinking into now. You belong to the calm majority of the cosmos tonight. You are joining the great quiet that fills nearly all of space and nearly all of time. The deep, restful background against which the occasional flash of activity is only a brief, rare exception. Rest is not the unusual state of the universe. Rest is what the universe mostly is. Here is another fact about how a neutron star holds its shape against everything. Its tremendous gravity is forever trying to pull it smaller, to crush it down further, and yet it does not collapse, because deep inside, the densely packed matter pushes back with a low, unyielding firmness, a pressure that exactly balances the inward pull, holding the star in perfect equilibrium. It is a standoff so even, so settled, that it can last for billions of years without wavering. Think of that balance, not a struggle, not a strain, but a stable rest. Two great forces holding each other so evenly that the result is a profound and lasting stillness. You have that same balance in you tonight. The weight of tiredness pulling you down, and the serene support beneath you holding you up, meeting exactly, so that you neither sink nor rise but simply float, perfectly poised, perfectly at rest, held in an equilibrium as old and as patient as the stars. A heavy stillness held in the smallest possible space, balanced forever, asking nothing, troubled by nothing, simply being still. And here is another, told slowly, about the names we give the different kinds of these stars, names that are themselves a kind of lullaby of variety. There are pulsars that flash like lighthouses, and magnetars wrapped in their vast invisible fields, and faint old neutron stars drifting cool and dark through space, their fierce youth long behind them, content now simply to coast through the galaxy unnoticed. There is a whole soft family of them, each kind a slight variation on the same deep theme, the same dense resting heart expressed in slightly different ways. And the most numerous of all may be the quiet ones, the cooled and dimmed and undramatic, drifting peacefully through the dark, with nothing left to prove. There is something I find deeply comforting in those easy drifters, stars that have done their shining, kept their faithful time, and now simply rest, dark and content, asking nothing of the night. That is where you are headed to, not toward more brightness, not toward more effort, but toward the deep and undramatic peace of something that has done enough and can now drift quietly through the dark, cool and calm and gloriously unbothered for as long as the night allows. Here is another thing to settle into, about how astronomers first stumbled upon these stars, which is a small and charming piece of history. When the first pulsar was discovered, the signal was so astonishingly regular, that steady, faithful tick arriving from the depths of space, that for a brief and wonderful moment the discoverers half wondered, with a smile, whether it might be a message from someone out there, and they jotted down a playful little name for it, before they understood. Of course, it was no message. It was a spinning star, keeping its honest time. But I love that first reaction, that instinct to hear in a steady rhythm the presence of something kindly and deliberate. There is a deep human comfort in rhythm, in regularity, in a beat you can count on. It is why a clock ticking in a hushed house feels like company rather than noise. Why the steady drip of rain on the roof can lull you so completely. Why a heartbeat heard against someone's chest is the first and oldest comfort any of us ever knew. The pulsar offers you that same steady, faithful presence tonight. A reliable rhythm arriving from far away, keeping you quiet company while you drift. And here is another about how light from a neutron star reaches you across time itself. Because these stars are so far away, the light you might gather from one tonight set out on its journey long ago, years ago, centuries ago, sometimes longer. So that to look at a neutron star is to look into the past, to see it not as it is now, but as it was when that light first left it. The whole night sky is like this, a soft museum of ancient light, every point of it a small window into a time long gone. There is nothing unsettling in this. It is one of the kindest facts in all of astronomy. It means the past is not lost. It means everything that ever shone is still arriving, still traveling, peaceful, reaching outward across the dark to be received by anyone patient enough to look up. The light of long ago stars is falling on your closed eyes even now, easy and ancient and faithful, having traveled all this way just to find you here, resting at the end of your day. You are bathed in old starlight. You are tenderly lit by the patient past. And you can let it hold you the way an old song holds you, full of everything that has ever been, and asking nothing but that you listen. Let us drift once more into the comfort of being carried, of having nothing at all to hold. Imagine, for a moment, that you are floating in deep space, but warm and safe and breathing easily with no danger anywhere near. There is no up and no down, no weight pulling at you, no surface pressing against you, only a soft suspension in the velvet dark, turning ever so slowly, the stars wheeling unhurriedly around you. You do not have to swim. You do not have to reach for anything. You simply float, weightless and effortless, carried by nothing and by everything, held in the open hand of the universe. Far off, a neutron star turns its faithful beat, and its rhythm seems to rock you, so tenderly, in your floating. There is no effort left in you anywhere. Every muscle has let go. Every thought has loosened. You are a small warm point of awareness, drifting in the great kind dark, carried, held, at peace, with all the time in the universe to do nothing but rest. Here is another fact about how the inside of a neutron star may hum and shift in slow, deep ways we are only beginning to understand. Now and then, a neutron star will give the tiniest of shudders, a barely perceptible adjustment deep within, as its dense interior settles into an even more comfortable arrangement, and astronomers read in those faint signatures something of the hidden structure within. But picture it tenderly. A great dense thing shifting its weight in its sleep, settling more deeply into itself, finding an even more restful position. The way you might shift once beneath the covers and then lie even more comfortably than before. The star is making itself at home in its own depths, easing into a deeper stillness, settling toward an ever more perfect rest. You can do the same now. One small shift, one easy settling, sinking a little deeper into the place that holds you, finding the position your body has been waiting for, and then growing still, more deeply still than before, settled all the way down into the comfortable, dense heart of your own rest. And here is another about the spareness and cleanness of a neutron star, the way it has shed everything it does not need. When the great star died, it cast off all its outer layers, all its sprawling atmosphere, all the loose and gaseous abundance of its living self, and kept only the essential core, only what was most needful, only the dense true heart of itself. There is a clean kind of peace in that, the peace of having set down everything that was not necessary. You can practice that same setting down tonight. With each slow breath out, imagine releasing one more thing you do not need to carry into sleep. A task, a worry, a word someone said, a small regret. Letting it drift away into the dark like the cast-off layers of a dying star, until what remains of you is only your essential, restful self, unburdened, uncluttered, carrying nothing into the night but your own easy breathing and the warm, dense weight of your body at rest, a heavy stillness held in the smallest possible space. Here is another serene fact about the strange, cool ocean that may lie beneath a neutron star's surface. Far down, below that flawless crust, scientists believe the matter behaves like nothing we will ever touch, a kind of frictionless inner sea, a substance so smooth in its flowing that, once set turning, it would turn on and on forever without ever slowing, without ever tiring, without ever needing to be wound again. Imagine an ocean that never grows weary, currents that never falter, a deep and silent tide moving inside the star with perfect ease for billions upon billions of years. There is something wonderfully restful in the thought of a motion that costs nothing to keep, a turning that asks for no effort at all, that simply continues because there is nothing in it to wear out. Tonight, your own breathing can be a little like that, a slow tide moving in and out of you all on its own, needing no effort, no winding, no attention, just an easy, frictionless rhythm carrying you deeper with every cycle. You do not have to keep it going. Like that hidden sea inside the star, it will keep going by itself, smooth and tireless, long after you have let go of watching it at all. And here is another, told slowly, about the very first neutron star anyone ever noticed, and the gentle joke hidden in its name. When astronomers first found one, long ago, it was sending out such an astonishingly regular pulse, a faint, steady beat arriving from far across space, perfectly on time, again and again, that for a little while, half in earnest and half in play, they nicknamed the signal after the idea of little green men, wondering, just for a moment, whether something out there might be calling. It was not, of course. It was only a neutron star turning, sweeping its narrow beam past the Earth the way a lighthouse sweeps the sea. A natural clock so faithful it seemed almost deliberate. But I love that for a short while the most reliable rhythm in the sky was mistaken for a message, for a kind of company. Tonight, you can let that faithful beat be a message after all, in its own quiet way, not words, not meaning, just the steady reassurance of something far away keeping perfect time, telling you with every silent pulse that the universe is orderly and patient and in no hurry, and that you are safe to rest while it keeps the time for you. Here is another thing for the deepening night, about how slowly and faithfully a neutron star keeps time, and how that timekeeping steadies the people who listen. The fastest of these stars spin so evenly that their pulses rival the finest clocks ever built by human hands, beats so regular that astronomers can use a scattered handful of them, spread across the galaxy, as a kind of vast and gentle metronome, keeping the same tempo across distances no one could ever walk. Picture that, a few faint hearts beating far out in the dark, each one ticking with such patience that together they could mark the passing of ages without ever drifting out of time. There is a deep comfort in something so dependable, so unwavering, so utterly unbothered by everything that hurries the rest of the world along. You can lean your own tiredness against that dependability tonight. Let the slow, faithful pulse of those distant stars become the tempo of your breathing, unhurried and exact, each beat a little further into rest, each one arriving exactly when it should, asking nothing of you, but that you let it carry you, steady and sure, all the way down into sleep. And here is another, about the way the light from a neutron star is bent so kindly by its own gravity that you can see a little around the far side of it. The pull near such a star is so strong that it gathers up the light leaving the surface and curves it gently around the curve of the star itself, bending the paths of those faint beams so that more of the hidden hemisphere is folded into view than ought to be possible. It is as though the star, out of some quiet generosity, lifts a little of its own far side into the light, hiding less of itself than any ordinary world would. There is something tender in that image, a thing so dense and so powerful that even the light cannot help curving softly around it, drawn into a slow embrace rather than a harsh one. Let your own thoughts curve like that tonight, bending gently inward toward the warm center of you, rather than racing off straight and far. Let everything in you be drawn into the same soft curve, the same easy gathering inward, until even the parts of the day you thought were lost behind you are folded quietly back into the calm. And nothing is left out, and nothing is left wandering in the dark. Let us drift again now into the deep, slow patience of time as these stars know it. A neutron star, once it has cooled past its fierce young years, can go on existing almost unchanged for a length of time that has no real comparison in anything you have ever lived. Far longer than the age of the earth, far longer than the age of the sun, longer than the whole story of life that led eventually to you lying here tonight. It does not count those years. It does not wait for them to pass. It simply rests through them, one indistinguishable from the next, in a single unbroken stillness that makes our hours and our worries seem impossibly small and brief. There is a great kindness in that scale. If you let yourself feel it against such a backdrop, nothing you are carrying tonight could possibly be as heavy as it seemed in the daylight. Everything that pressed on you today is already softening, already shrinking, already dissolving into the vast, easy patience of a universe that has all the time there could ever be. You can set it all down here. The night is long, and the stars are far older than any trouble, and there is nothing at all that cannot wait quietly until the morning. Here is another fact about the slow and tender way a neutron star gives up its warmth to the night. When it is first born, the star is astonishingly hot, hotter than almost anything in the cosmos. But it has no fire inside to feed that heat, no fuel still burning, nothing left to keep it warm. And so, across the long ages, it simply cools, not suddenly, not all at once, but with infinite gentleness, shedding its warmth into the surrounding dark a little at a time, growing imperceptibly dimmer and quieter and more at peace with every passing million years. There is no struggle in this cooling, no fear of the cold, only a slow and graceful settling, the way a banked ember softens through a long night until it is nothing but a warm, dark glow. You are doing something like that yourself, right now. The heat of the day, all its activity and brightness and effort, is easing out of you gently into the dark of the room, and you are growing softer and dimmer and calmer with every breath, settling toward the warm, low glow of deep rest. There is nothing to keep burning. You can let the warmth ease away as slowly and as peacefully as it likes, the way a neutron star cools across the ages, untroubled, unhurried, sinking towards stillness. And here is another, told slowly, about the surface of these stars and how astonishingly smooth it is. The crust of a neutron star is the most polished surface in all of nature, so flattened by its own colossal gravity that even its tallest features, the little ridges astronomers call mountains, rise no higher than a fraction of a single millimeter, a height you could not see, could not feel, could not even measure with the patient instruments of an ordinary day. Imagine a whole star wrapped in a skin, so even that the loftiest mountain on it is shorter than the thickness of a sheet of paper. There is a deep restfulness in that, in a world so thoroughly settled that nothing on it juts or jars, nothing reaches up to catch the eye or trouble the surface, only one continuous, gleaming, unbroken smoothness wrapped all the way around. And on the very rare occasions when something does shift, when after long ages of stillness, the crust eases a little and resettles into an even more perfect calm, even that small adjustment is so gentle, so slow, so quietly absorbed that the star barely seems to notice. It simply finds a smoother stillness than before and rests there. You can do the same now. Whatever small unevennesses are left in you tonight, let them ease and resettle. Let your own surface go smooth and flat and unbroken, until there is nothing jagged left to hold you back from sleep. Only one calm, continuous quiet, wrapped softly all the way around you, the way that flawless crust is wrapped around the resting heart of the star. Here is another thing for your drifting mind, about the surface gravity making everything settle so completely. On a neutron star, anything that arrives is drawn down into a perfectly even layer, smoothed out, spread thin and flat across the surface by that immense and patient pull, so that nothing piles up, nothing stands out, nothing is left jagged or uneven. Everything finds its lowest, most settled place. There is a deep peace in that idea of everything finding its level, the way water always finds its level, the way sand smooths itself flat at the bottom of a still pool, the way a tired body finds, at last, the exact shape of rest. Tonight, you can let everything in you find its level too, every tension easing down to its lowest point, every raised and guarded place softening flat, every part of you settling into the most even, most restful arrangement it can find. Nothing has to stand guard. Nothing has to hold itself up. Everything can simply come to rest at its own true level, smooth and flat and easy, the way matter settles on the surface of a quiet star. And here is another, about the deep silence in which all of this happens. Space is, for the most part, profoundly tranquil. There is no air to carry sound across the vast distances between stars. So the spinning of a neutron star, the merging of two of them, the great slow turning of the whole galaxy, all of it unfolds in a silence so complete it is almost a presence in itself. The most enormous events in the universe make no sound at all to a listener floating nearby. There is something wonderfully restful in that thought, in a cosmos that does its grandest work without ever raising its voice, without ever startling anyone, without a single sound to break the peace. The neutron star spins in perfect silence. The stars wheel overhead in perfect silence, and you can let your own night be filled with that same deep cosmic quiet, the silence of a universe too vast and too calm to make any noise. A silence that does not feel empty, but full of room, full of rest, full of the soft presence of a sky that turns without a sound. let us pause once more for scale and comfort, for the particular peace of being a small, warm thing in an old, enormous, patient universe. Consider how long a neutron star will last. Left undisturbed, one of these dense remnants can endure for far longer than the current age of the universe. They are among the most durable things that exist, outlasting the stars that are still being born, outlasting worlds, outlasting nearly everything. And yet this near permanence is not a burden to them. It is simply a long, untroubled rest, stretching out across spans of time too vast to fear. There is comfort in lasting things, in knowing that some of what fills the sky tonight will still be there, almost unchanged, in an unimaginably distant future. The night you are resting under is built on foundations that do not crumble, anchored by stars that do not fade in any span you could worry about. You can rest your whole weary self against that permanence, that steadiness, that deep cosmic reliability, and let it hold you the way bedrock holds a sleeping house, solid, faithful, and entirely unbothered by the passing of a single small night. Here is another peaceful fact about the way a neutron star can have the faintest whisper of an atmosphere. Even on something so dense, there can be a thin skin of gas above the surface, but it is extraordinarily shallow, perhaps only centimeters thick, a mere breath of atmosphere clinging close to the star, pressed down flat by that enormous gravity into the thinnest imaginable veil. Picture that, a whole atmosphere, the entire sky of that little world, compressed into something thinner than the width of your hand, hugging the surface like the faintest mist on the skin of a pond at dawn. There is a delicacy in that, a kind of tenderness, the universe wrapping even its densest object in the softest, slightest blanket it can manage. And you, too, are wrapped tonight in a thin, warm layer of air, breathing in and breathing out. Your own slight atmosphere rising and falling against you with each slow breath. Feel that mist of warmth around you, that faint, soft envelope of air holding you close the way the star's thin sky holds the star, and let your breathing grow as light and as easy as that whisper of atmosphere clinging to a distant resting world. And here is another about how these stars help us understand the inside of an atom, which is a strange and lovely kind of mirroring. The matter at the heart of a neutron star behaves much like the matter inside the nucleus of a single atom, the very smallest thing, scaled all the way up to the size of a mountain, so that to study a neutron star is, in a way, to study the inside of an atom written large across the sky. The tiniest and the most enormous turn out to be made of the same deep stuff, governed by the same patient rules, resting in the same kind of dense and settled calm. There is something profoundly soothing in that unity, in the discovery that the very small and the very large are secretly the same, that the same tender order runs through everything from the heart of an atom to the heart of a star. You are made of those same atoms, governed by those same rules, and so in a real and gentle way you are kin to the neutron star. You share its deep structure, its patient order, its quiet way of holding together. Tonight, you are not separate from the sky. You are made of the same calm stuff, all the way down. Let us drift again into the feeling of being carried, of resting in motion, without any effort of your own. Imagine you are lying in a hammock strung between two old trees, and the faintest breeze is moving it, just barely, a slow, easy sway back and forth, with you cradled in the tender curve of it. You are not swinging yourself. You are not doing anything at all. The breeze does the work, the hammock does the holding, and you simply lie there, rocked, suspended, carried by the easy rhythm of the air. Overhead, through the leaves, the stars turn, and somewhere among them a neutron star keeps its faithful beat, and the slow sway of the hammock seems to match it, back and forth, on and on. A rhythm older than the trees, older than the earth, rocking you the way the universe has always rocked its sleepers. There is nothing to hold. There is nothing to do. There is only the sway and the warmth and the deep, safe sense of being carried by something kind and unhurried, all night long. Here is another fact, told slowly, about how a neutron star bends time itself. Its gravity is so strong that, very near its surface, time runs a touch more slowly than it does far away. A clock resting on a neutron star would tick more leisurely than a clock floating out in distant space. Now, this sounds strange, but turn it gently and it becomes one of the most restful ideas of all. Near these dense, low stars, time eases, slows, stretches out, becomes more spacious and unhurried. There is more time, in a sense, in the places where there is more weight and more stillness. And you can imagine yourself sinking toward your own dense, faint center tonight, toward the heavy stillness at the heart of you, and feeling time itself begin to slow as you go, the minutes stretching, the night growing longer and softer and more spacious, the way time always seems to slow and deepen as you fall toward sleep. Let the clock of the waking world tick on far away, fast and small and unimportant, while here, where you are sinking, time slows to a deep and tender crawl, and there is more than enough of it, all the time you could ever need, to simply rest. And here is another about how patient astronomers must be to study these stars at all. A neutron star gives up its secrets slowly, in faint signals gathered over long nights, in the patient counting of pulses, in the careful watching of light too dim for any eye. To learn anything about one, a person must be willing to wait, to watch, to gather quietly over many hours without rushing, and there is a beautiful kinship between that patient watching and the slow drift towards sleep. Both ask the same thing of you, not effort, but presence, not striving, but a willingness to stay quietly with something while it gradually reveals itself. You do not chase sleep any more than an astronomer chases a faint star. You simply grow still and wait and let it come to you in its own time, gathering slowly out of the dark the way a distant signal gathers, faint at first and then clearer, until at last it arrives in full. So do not reach for sleep tonight. Just lie serene and watch the soft dark behind your eyes and let it come gathering toward you, patient and faint and certain, the way the light of an ancient star comes gathering across the night. Here is another thing to fold into the quiet about the colors hidden in a star's spin. Some pulsars sweep their beams across the sky in such perfect regularity that when their pulses are gathered over time and laid out side by side, they form smooth, repeating patterns, like the gentle ridges left in sand by a retreating tide, like the grain in a piece of well-worn wood, like the rings within a tree that tell of all its patient years. Each pulse is the same as the last, and the next, and the next, an endless faithful repetition that never wavers and never tires. There is such restfulness in repetition, in sameness, in a thing that does not surprise you. The whole world of sleep is built on it, the same breath, again and again, the same slow heartbeat, the same soft dark. You do not need novelty now. You need the deep comfort of the familiar, the same easy rhythm returning and returning, and the pulsar offers you exactly that, an unbroken pattern stretching across the night, each beat the twin of the one before, lulling you with its perfect, patient sameness. And here is another, about how a neutron star is its own kind of clock and compass for travelers who may someday wander far from home. Because pulsars keep such faithful time and lie scattered in known places across the sky, it has been imagined that a traveler lost among the stars could find their way by them, reading their rhythms the way a sailor once read the fixed stars, the way a walker reads familiar landmarks on the way home. There is something deeply reassuring in that, the idea that even in the vastest dark, there are faithful points to steer by, steady beacons that will not move or fade, quietly marking the way. You have such beacons in your own life, the steady, faithful things that have always been there to guide you home, and tonight you do not need to steer by anything at all, because you are already home, already arrived, already in the safest and most familiar harbor there is. The pulsars can keep their watch over the wandering travelers. You have nowhere left to go. You are home, and you can rest. Let us pause for a reflection of scale and comfort, gentle and slow. Think of how the neutron star, for all its density, takes up almost no room at all in the great hall of the sky, a thing the size of a city, lost in distances so vast that light takes years to cross them. And yet it is not diminished by being small. Its smallness is part of its wonder, part of its peace. The universe does not measure worth by size. It lets the tiny carry the weight of suns, lets the small hold the most profound things, lets a sphere no wider than a town outlast the ages. And so your own smallness tonight, small in your bed, small under the wide sky, small against the turning of the world, is no cause for any unease at all. You are small the way a neutron star is small, complete, dense with everything you are, holding your whole self in a compact and restful space, lacking nothing, needing nothing, perfectly sufficient just as you are. There is no need to be more. There is only the deep peace of being exactly the right size for rest, a heavy stillness held in the smallest possible space. Here is another fact about the way a neutron star slowly gives its energy back to the dark. Over the long ages, a spinning neutron star very gradually loses a little of its spin, releasing that energy out into the space around it as a soft and steady glow, lighting the nebula that surrounds it, feeding the slow drift of gas, returning what it has to the cosmos one patient turn at a time. It does not hoard. It does not cling. It simply gives, slowly and endlessly, never depleted in any span that matters, a generous, easy light shed into the dark for ages upon ages. There is something tender in that slow giving, in a thing so dense and self-contained that nevertheless pours a little of itself outward all the time, warming the space around it. You give in that way too, more than you know, simply by being here, simply by breathing, simply by resting and letting the day settle. And tonight you do not have to give anything more. You can simply receive. Receive the dark, receive the hushed, receive the slow, low light of a star that asks for nothing in return. And here is another, told slowly, about the way two merging neutron stars create a brief and beautiful glow that astronomers call by a tender name, a soft afterglow that blooms and fades over days. When two of these stars finally meet at the end of their long spiral, the light that follows is not a harsh and sudden flash, but a slow blooming radiance, swelling gently over hours and days and then easing away again. A luminous breath drawn and released across the dark. Picture that. A light that does not startle but unfolds, opening like a flower opening in slow motion, glowing softly fuller and then softly dimmer. A whole event measured in the patient language of days rather than the violent language of instants. Even the most dramatic meetings in the universe, it turns out, are gentle in their timing, slow in their unfolding, kind to anyone watching. And you can let your own descent into sleep be just such a slow blooming thing, not a sudden drop, but a tender unfolding. A soft swelling of drowsiness that opens gradually, fuller and fuller, dimmer and dimmer, easing you down across the long unhurried minutes into the deep glow of rest. Here is another quiet fact about the way a neutron star is, in a sense, a fossil of a star, a perfectly preserved keepsake. When a great star ends its life, the neutron star it leaves behind carries within it a record of what that star was, its mass, its spin, its history pressed into a single dense remnant that endures almost unchanged for ages. It is the universe's way of keeping something precious, of holding on to the memory of a star long after the star itself is gone, sealing it into a form so stable that it will not fade. There is a tenderness in that kind of keeping, in the thought of the cosmos preserving its lost things so carefully, refusing to let them be entirely forgotten. The people and the days and the small dear moments you carry within you are kept in much the same way, sealed safely into the dense, serene core of who you are, preserved against all forgetting. You do not have to hold them tightly tonight. They are already kept, already safe, already woven permanently into you, and you can rest knowing that nothing precious is lost simply because you have let go of the day and drifted into sleep. And here is another, about the patience of the matter inside these stars, the way it waits. The exotic substances thought to lie in the deepest core of a neutron star may have been resting there, unchanged, for the entire life of the star. Billions of years of perfect stillness in the dark, untouched, undisturbed, simply being what they are with infinite patience. Nothing rushes them. Nothing asks them to move or change or become anything other than what they already are. They have achieved a rest so complete that time itself seems to pass them by. There is a deep and almost holy calm in that idea, in matter that has found a stillness it will keep for the whole age of the universe. You cannot rest quite that long, of course, but you can borrow a little of that infinite patience tonight, the sense that there is nothing you must do, nowhere you must be, nothing pressing on you at all, only the long, deep stillness of something content to simply be, untouched and undisturbed, in the quiet heart of the night. Let us drift again into being carried, into the faint surrender of letting something hold you. Imagine you are floating on your back in warm, still water, perhaps a tranquil sea at night, perhaps a pool so calm its surface is like glass, and the water holds you up entirely, so that you do not have to swim, do not have to tread, do not have to do anything but lie back and let yourself be held. Your ears are just below the surface, and the world has gone soft and muffled and far away. Above you the stars turn slowly, and a neutron star somewhere among them keeps its faithful beat, and the slight rise and fall of the water beneath you seems to breathe in time with it, lifting you and lowering you, lifting you and lowering you, so easily, so endlessly. The water carries all your weight. The night carries all your cares. You are held on every side by something warm and patient and kind, and you can let go completely, floating free, carried without effort across the long dark hours toward morning. Here is another fact, told slowly, about how a neutron star teaches us that opposites can rest together. It is at once the densest object we know, and yet not the most extreme thing the universe can make. It sits at a perfect threshold, dense enough to be wondrous, yet stable enough to endure, balanced exactly at the point where heaviness and steadiness meet. It is enormous and tiny, ancient and unchanging, violent in its birth and utterly peaceful in its long life. And all these opposites rest together within it, without any contradiction at all. There is something deeply reassuring in that, in the way the universe lets opposite things coexist so calmly, holds heaviness and stillness in the same small space, lets the dramatic and the peaceful be one and the same. Your own day held opposites too: effort and rest, noise and peaceful, motion and stillness, and tonight all of them can settle together within you, no longer at odds, no longer pulling in different directions, simply resting side by side in the calm, dense heart of you, the way every opposite rests together in the quiet body of a star. And here is another about how a neutron star, despite all its strangeness, follows the same simple law of gravity that governs a falling apple or a child sliding down a hill. The very same patient force that draws a leaf to the ground, that holds you in your bed, that keeps the moon company with the Earth, is the force that shapes and holds a neutron star, only gathered, concentrated, made dense. It is the most familiar force in your whole life, the one you have known since before you could walk, the steady downward kindness that has caught you every time you have ever lain down to rest. And it is the same force that has shaped these distant stars. So when you feel your own weight pressing softly down into the bed tonight, you are feeling the very same gravity that holds the neutron star together, the same ancient pull, the same faithful drawing down. It is an old friend, gravity, the oldest you have, and it is holding you now exactly as it holds the stars, drawing you down into rest with the same tireless tenderness, a heavy stillness settling into the smallest, safest space. Here is another thing to rest upon, about the way light leaves a neutron star in beams from its two poles, sweeping outward like the arms of a slow lighthouse turning over a dark sea. The beams pour steadily from the star's magnetic poles, and as the star turns, those beams sweep across the heavens so that anyone in their path sees a regular flash, a faithful pulse of light arriving and departing, arriving and departing. Think of a lighthouse on a hushed headland at night, its great lamp turning, casting its long beam across the water, sweeping past you and away and back again, steady and sure. A light that exists only to keep watch, only to say, gently, you are not alone. The way is known. All is well. The neutron star is that lighthouse, set in the sky, turning its patient beam across the dark for no one in particular, and for everyone. And tonight it is turning for you, sweeping its soft light over you again and again, keeping its faithful watch while you sleep, so that you can let go entirely, knowing the light will go on turning whether or not you are awake to see it. And here is another, told slowly, about how small a part of its energy a neutron star ever needs to spend. It holds within it reserves so vast that it could shine and spin and glow for ages beyond counting and barely diminish, a deep well of stored motion and heat that it draws upon so slowly, so sparingly, that it will not run dry for longer than the universe has yet existed. There is no scarcity in a neutron star, no anxious rationing, no fear of running out. It is rich beyond any need, settled in a deep sufficiency, drawing only the faintest trickle from an ocean of reserve. There is a great calm in that kind of abundance, in resting against something that will never run short, never tire, never have to stop. And you tonight have enough as well, enough breath, enough warmth, enough time, enough rest waiting for you in the long hours ahead. You do not have to ration your ease. You can spend the whole night resting and wake with more rest still to come tomorrow. There is plenty. There is more than plenty. You can let yourself sink into that abundance the way the star sinks into its own deep reserves, unworried, unhurried, with more than enough to last. Let us pause for scale and comfort. Slowly, tenderly picture, if you can, the whole disk of our galaxy spread out flat and luminous, a vast slow wheel of hundreds of billions of stars turning once every couple of 100 million years, so slowly that in all the time there have been human beings, the wheel has barely begun to turn. And scattered all through that immense unhurried wheel are the neutron stars, the serene dense hearts, riding the great turning along with everything else, taking their patient place in the slow procession. You are part of that wheel too, riding it from your small warm place on a small blue world, turning with the galaxy at a stately pace too grand to feel. There is no rush anywhere in it. The whole galaxy takes 250 million years to turn just once, and it is in no hurry at all, and neither, tonight, are you. You can match your pace to the galaxy's pace, slowing, until you are turning as serenely as the wheel of stars, with all the cosmic time in the world to do nothing but drift. Here is another fact about the way a neutron star can be a perfectly faithful timekeeper across thousands of years. Some of these stars keep time so steadily that, were you to measure one tonight and again in 1,000 years, its rhythm would have changed only by the tiniest, most predictable amount. A faithfulness that puts the finest human clocks to shame and rivals the steadiest things in nature. There is a profound peace in that constancy, in something so reliable that the centuries cannot shake it, so steady that whole civilizations could rise and pass while it kept the very same beat. The world around you can feel so changeable, so uncertain, so full of things that shift and surprise, but high above it all, the pulsars keep their unwavering time, a deep, steady pulse beneath all the change, faithful through everything. Tonight, you can rest your weary, change-tossed mind against that constancy, that one thing in all the universe that simply will not waver, and let its steadiness become your steadiness, its faithful beat become the slow, reliable rhythm of your own breath, on and on, unchanging through the long, peaceful night. And here is another, told slowly, about the way these stars are studied by listening rather than looking, which is itself a restful idea. Much of what we know of pulsars comes not from peering through a lens, but from gathering their faint radio signals through great dish-shaped ears tilted up at the sky, listening patiently to the hushed regular ticking that rains down from the dark. There is something tender about a science of listening, about turning a quiet ear to the heavens and simply receiving what comes, without grasping, without chasing, just waiting and listening in the dark. You can do the same now, not looking, not searching, just listening, turning the tranquil ear of your mind up toward the soft sounds of the night, the faint hum of the room, the slow tide of your own breath, the imagined ticking of a distant star. Let your listening grow soft and wide and unfocused, gathering whatever drifts in, holding on to nothing, simply receiving the quiet the way a great dish receives the faint rain of starlight, patiently, peacefully, all through the listening dark. Here is another peaceful fact about how a neutron star draws nearby matter into a slow, glowing spiral before it ever arrives. When material drifts toward a neutron star from a companion, it does not fall straight in, but settles into a wide turning disk, spiraling inward in long, lazy loops, growing warm as it goes, glowing softly, taking its unhurried time to wind its way down to the surface. Picture that, a slow, luminous whirlpool in the dark, turning and turning. Every speck of matter taking the long, gentle path inward, in no hurry to arrive, content to circle and circle in the warm glow. There is something hypnotic in a slow spiral, in watching anything wind unhurriedly toward its center, the way water turns as it eases down a drain, the way a falling leaf circles down to the grass, the way your own thoughts can circle slowly inward toward the still center of sleep. Let your mind spiral that way now, not rushing toward rest but circling toward it, looping slowly inward, each turn a little lower, a little warmer, a little nearer the tender center, in no hurry at all to arrive, content simply to wind down through the soft dark. And here is another, about how the discovery of these stars was, in a way, predicted before anyone ever saw one. Years before the first pulsar was found, thoughtful people had already imagined that such a thing might exist, that a star could collapse into a dense ball of neutrons and rest there, stable, in the dark. They reasoned it out quietly, on paper, in the patient way of those who love to understand, and then the universe, in its own time, revealed that they had been right all along. There is something deeply comforting in that, in the idea that the cosmos is understandable, that it follows patient rules a quiet mind can work out, that it is not chaos but order, not random but reasoned, knowable and steady all the way down. You live in a universe that makes sense, an old and orderly place, where things follow from things, where the dark is not frightening but lawful and calm. You can rest in that order tonight, in the deep reassurance of a cosmos that holds together, that can be understood, that has been quietly keeping its promises since long before anyone was here to notice. Let us drift once more into being carried, slowly, with nothing to hold and nowhere to be. Imagine you are lying in the bottom of a small boat again, but now the boat is drifting down a wide, slow river at night, carried by a current so easy you can barely feel it, the banks sliding past unseen in the dark, the stars wheeling overhead. You are not steering, you are not paddling. The river knows the way, and it carries you, patiently, around every bend, past every low shore, onward through the night toward a morning you do not have to reach for. Somewhere above, a neutron star keeps its faithful beat, and the serene sounds of the water lapping at the hull seem to keep time with it, a slow, steady rhythm carrying you along. There is nowhere you must arrive. There is no effort you must make. There is only the river, and the dark, and the soft sway of the boat, and the deep, safe certainty of being carried by something wiser and more patient than yourself, all the long night through. Here is another fact, told slowly, about how the matter of a neutron star is held together so tightly that it forms a single connected whole, almost like one enormous, unimaginably dense object rather than countless separate particles. Inside the star, everything is so close, so bound, so deeply joined that the usual boundaries between things begin to soften, and the whole interior behaves as one continuous, unified body. There is a kind of wholeness in that, a oneness, a deep togetherness in which nothing is truly separate from anything else. And tonight, you can feel that same gathering wholeness in yourself, all your scattered parts drawing close and joining. The boundary between your thoughts and your breath and your slow heartbeats softening, until you are no longer a busy collection of separate worries, but one faint, unified, restful whole, gathered together, deeply joined, a single calm body lying still in the dark, a heavy stillness held in the smallest possible space. And here is another, about the way a neutron star, for all its power, never reaches out to disturb the worlds around it from afar. Its enormous gravity and its vast magnetic fields are strongest only very close to its surface. Step back even a little, and its reach falls away, so that from any safe distance it is simply a quiet point in the sky, harming nothing, troubling nothing, content to keep its tremendous nature folded close around itself. It does not impose. It does not intrude. It holds all its strength gathered inward, close to home, and leaves the wide dark around it perfectly at peace. There is a lovely modesty in that, a self-containment, a strength that has no need to spread or assert itself. And you can hold your own strength that way tonight, gathered close, kept inward, untroubling, not reaching out, not bracing against anything, not extending yourself into worry about distant things, but simply resting at your own easy center, self-contained and at peace, your whole self folded tenderly inward, leaving the wide dark around you calm and tranquil and safe. Here is another thing to settle into, about the temperatures these stars reach and then leave behind. A young neutron star is born searingly hot, but over the ages it cools towards something far more temperate, shedding its fierce heat patiently into the cold around it, until the old ones drift through space cool and dim and untroubled, their fevers long broken. Think of how it feels when a fever finally breaks, when a long heat at last begins to ease, when the body cools and softens and sinks at last toward true rest. That is the long, slow journey of a neutron star, from fierce young heat toward cool old peace, and it makes the journey without any struggle, simply letting the warmth flow out of it into the patient dark, 1 degree at a time, across unhurried ages. You can let your own gathered heat ease away now in just that way. The warmth of the day's effort flowing out of your forehead, your chest, your hands, into the cool quiet of the room, leaving you calmer and easier and more deeply settled with each slow breath, cooling toward the temperate peace of an old and resting star. And here is another, told slowly, about how a neutron star sits at the edge of becoming something even more profound, and chooses, in a sense, to stay. A slightly heavier remnant might collapse further into something else entirely, but the neutron star holds its ground, balanced exactly at the threshold, stable, enduring, content to remain what it is rather than fall any further. It has found the place where it can rest forever, and it rests there. There is something deeply reassuring in that, in a thing that has reached its true and final form and is at peace to stay there, with no further to fall, no further to go, no next change looming. It is finished becoming. It simply is now, and it will go on simply being for ages. Tonight you too have nowhere further to fall. You have reached the place of rest. There is no next thing tonight, no further to go, only the deep stillness of having arrived exactly where you are meant to be. Settled at your own threshold, balanced and complete, content to simply be, all the long night through. Let us drift one last long time into being carried, into the deepest surrender of the night. Imagine now that you are simply held, not in a boat, not on the water, not in a hammock, but held directly by the soft dark itself, cradled in the open hands of the whole patient universe, the way the universe cradles every one of its stars. There is nothing beneath you, and nothing above you, and nothing pressing in. There is only the warm, easy dark, holding you on every side, carrying you gently through the night, the way it carries the neutron star through the long silence of space. You weigh nothing here. You hold nothing here. Every part of you that has worked today has set down its work. Every part of you that has braced has let go. Every part of you that has hurried has slowed to the deep, stately pace of the turning stars. You are carried. You are held. You are safe in the great kind dark, one small resting point of warmth among countless others, drifting peacefully through the night with all the cosmos cradling you, asking nothing, troubling nothing, simply holding you while you sink at last toward the deepest rest of all. Here is one more fact, a final hushed one, before we begin to let the night carry us toward its close. A neutron star, in the end, is one of the universe's truest expressions of peace after great change, born from the most dramatic event a star can know, and yet becoming, in its aftermath, one of the most stable, most patient, most enduring things that exists. It is the calm that comes after, the rest that follows effort, the deep stillness that the universe arrives at when its most powerful work is done. And that, in the end, is what you are arriving at too. The calm after the long day, the rest that follows all your effort, the deep stillness your whole self has been moving toward since you first lay down tonight. You have done your work. The dramatic part of the day is over. And now, like the star, you can settle into the long peace that comes after, a heavy stillness held in the smallest possible space, enduring, patient, and entirely at rest. Here is another serene fact, lingered over slowly, about the way a neutron star's light flickers in patterns we can almost feel as a kind of breathing. As the star turns and its beams sweep past, the light seems to pulse like a slow inhale and exhale written across the heavens, a steady rise and fall, a brightening and a dimming, on and on, as faithful as the tide, as faithful as breath. There is nothing frantic in it, even in the fast spinners, when you let the numbers fall away and feel only the rhythm, only a steady cosmic pulse, repeating without end, a deep, reliable breathing of light in the dark. You might let your own breath fall into that imagined rhythm now, slow and even, in and out. The brightening and the dimming, the rise and the fall, until your breath and the star's slow pulse are moving as one. A single shared rhythm spanning all the distance between you. The small breath of a resting body keeping time with the great breath of a turning star. And here is another, told slowly, about how the matter inside these stars resists being crushed through a deep and quiet property of the smallest particles, a kind of inner insistence on having their own space even under unimaginable pressure. The tiny particles that make up the star will not be squeezed past a certain point. They hold their ground, each keeping its own small place. And it is this tranquil refusal, this gentle insistence, that holds the whole star up against the crushing weight of its own gravity. There is something tender in that, in the idea that, even at the heart of the densest object in the universe, every smallest piece is still granted its own little space to be. Never quite overwhelmed, never quite erased, you, too, are made of those same insistent particles, each keeping its own peaceful place within you, holding you up, holding you together, refusing to be crushed by anything. You are more durable than you know, held up from within by the same deep stubbornness that holds up the stars, and tonight you can rest your full weight against that inner strength, trusting it completely to hold you through the dark. Let us drift now into one last reflection of scale and comfort before the night gathers us in. Out there, the neutron stars are scattered thinly across distances so vast that if you shrank the whole galaxy to the size of a continent, the nearest one to us would still be far away, a quiet point in an enormous calm. And all that distance, all that vast dark space between the stars is not empty in a frightening way, but spacious in a restful way. Room enough for everything to rest without crowding, room enough for every star to keep its own peaceful place. You are cradled in that same spaciousness tonight, with room all around you, nothing pressing in, the whole soft dark of the universe stretching away on every side, giving you all the room you could ever need to simply be still. There is space enough for your every breath to slow, space enough for your every thought to settle, space enough for the whole weary weight of you to spread out and ease and let go. The universe is mostly room, mostly rest, mostly the deep spacious hush you are sinking into now, and there is more than enough of it to hold you, gently, all night long. And here is one last fact to carry you toward the close about the way a neutron star simply endures, faithfully, while everything around it changes. Worlds may form and fade, stars may be born and die, the slow wheel of the galaxy may turn and turn, and through it all the neutron star keeps its quiet place, holds its steady beat, endures with a patience that outlasts nearly everything. It does not need to do anything to endure, it simply is, and that is enough, and it goes on being, faithfully, through all the turning of the ages. There is a deep final comfort in that kind of faithful endurance, in something so steady and so patient that you can lean your whole tired self against it and trust it not to waver. The night will turn, the dark will deepen and then slowly thin toward morning, and through it all the stars will keep their faithful watch over you, enduring, steady, unchanging, holding their serene places in the sky while you let go of everything and sink at last into the deep rest you have earned. A heavy stillness held in the smallest possible space, faithful through all the turning night. Here is another thing to rest upon as the night deepens, about the way a neutron star turns the violent into the serene. Everything fierce about its origin has long since resolved into something deeply tranquil. The heat has cooled, the flash has faded, the great inward fall has come to its perfect balance, and what remains is pure, enduring rest. It is the universe showing us that even the most powerful storms pass, that even the fiercest beginnings settle into the deepest peace, that after every upheaval there comes, in time, a long and patient calm. Whatever has felt loud or fierce or unsettled in your own day can settle just the same way now, the energy of it easing, the heat of it cooling, the motion of it slowing to a perfect rest, until all that remains in you is the same enduring tranquility that fills the heart of a star. The storm of the day is over. The long peace has come. And you can rest in it now, fully, the way the neutron star rests, settled and serene and held in the soft, forgiving dark. A heavy stillness gathered at last into the smallest and safest possible space. And so we come to the close of our long, slow night together, and there is nothing left for you to do but let the last of it carry you under. We have gathered up a great many tranquil facts about these dense and patient stars, and you do not need to remember a single one of them. They have done their work simply by giving your mind somewhere tranquil to wander while the rest of you let go. We spoke of how a whole sun is folded down into a sphere the size of a sleeping town, a heavy stillness held in the smallest possible space. We spoke of matter pressed so complete that no gap is left to worry over, and of stars that spin without friction or effort, keeping faithful time across thousands of years. We spoke of ancient light arriving from the deep past, of gold forged in the slow embrace of merging stars, of gravity that bends time itself toward a deeper and more spacious calm. We spoke of lighthouses turning in the dark, of rivers carrying you onward, of the vast roomy peace of a universe that is mostly rest. And through all of it ran the same quiet thread, a heavy stillness held in the smallest possible space, woven between the facts like a low steady note beneath a long and peaceful song. Let me leave you with the gentlest reassurance I can offer. Out there, the stars are keeping their faithful watch, and they do not need you to stay awake for them. They have kept this watch for ages before you, and they will keep it long after this night, steady and patient, and entirely untroubled. There is nothing you must hold on to. There is nothing left undone that cannot wait for the morning. The day you carried in here has been set down, layer by layer, like the cast-off layers of a star, until only your essential, restful self remains, complete and whole and ready for sleep. You are safe. You are held.